Adobe Flash and specifically Flash games. Wait, I think I've said that before. Somewhere, I just cannot put my finger on it. Anyway, hi there and welcome back. Haven't done a professional video on here in a while, and today we will be going back and talking about even more Angry Birds themed Flash games. The last video did really well and you guys voted for me to do this one first. So that's what I'm gonna do today. In total, I got 12 Flash games to go through. So, what are we waiting for? Let's get right into it. Firstly, we have Angry Birds Heroic Rescue. And honestly, I have no idea how this one went without even a mention last time. It's iconic. The premise is pretty simple. The pigs wanted to attack Stella and Red comes in to protect her. And from that point, it is just gameplay till the end. This is the only cutscene in the whole damn game. Even when you finish the game, there is just no end cutscene, which is odd. In total, there is 24 levels. Each level you get a red, sometimes two, and you have to either push off or pop the pig within the level. They're plain easy, though some took me a few tries because of the RNG of how Red flies in this game. If Red falls out of the screen, you die, so you have to be careful with each shot. With time, the game introduces mechanics like more pigs, two birds, breakable blocks, pushable blocks, portals, open spaces, closed spaces, power-ups, and helmet pigs, which can only be pushed off, cannot be killed. The ideas are cool, but most of them are here only for a level to 3 at most. They get introduced and then nothing is done with them. As I said, the game only has 24 short levels, so you can beat it in like 7 minutes most likely. Overall, it's short but fun for a bit. There isn't that much more to say. And as I said, and this is probably my biggest problem, this game is ridiculously short. I'd give it a good maybe 6 out of 10. Next up, we got Angry Birds Come Back to Nest. A game that, to my knowledge, one of you guys suggested in the comments. It's a simple preschool level puzzle game where you have to get the birds to the nest, as the name may suggest. However, this game due to the difficulty is mad boring. I became numb to the gameplay and didn't notice when I reached level 40. And I know, it's made for preschoolers, it's not gonna be difficult or engaging much. But it's my ranking, I'm gonna say what I want. It's simply not good and not fun at all. It's simply not good and not fun at all. Sorry, not sorry, but this one gets a 3 out of 10. I don't even have much to say about it. I wanna give a mention to this game I found, called Angry Birds Billard. And well, it is exactly what the name says. From the graphics, transitions, and all-around quality, I guess it was a project of a younger person. As game-making practice, maybe, I suppose. Unlike the last game, this one offers a bit more of a challenge, as there's a 90-second time limit for you to beat the level. Which is intriguing, I suppose. The game is a weird art mix of Angry Birds and Plants vs Zombies. Truly the peak of 2013 Flash games. Overall, it's not much, but it's pretty fun. Definitely better than the previous one. I'd give it a solid 4. Next up, we got Angry Birds Drink Water 2. It is a very simple game where you have to aim and throw the birds into these cup thingies so that they drink water, I suppose? Although there is no water in the container. There isn't a ton to say, but I do have to mention that the physics are annoying as fuck sometimes, and it can be a real pain to beat some of these levels. The bird selection and sprites are also something, for sure. You got red, blue, chalk with a cracked egg as a hat, pre-chrome Hal. Oh yeah, and for whatever reason, red is forever stuck in this sprite. I don't know why, don't ask me. But from me, overall, this game isn't all that interesting. I mean, it's a cool concept, don't get me wrong, but the execution isn't the best. It's not also the worst, it's pretty enjoyable at times, but it's kinda just in the middle. And as in the middle as the game is, I will give the rating of 5 out of 10. Now, let's take a look at Kick Out Green Pigs, from none other than the same people who made Angry Birds canon. It is a pretty enjoyable experience overall. As the name may suggest, you have to kick out the pigs of platforms. How to do that? It's quite simple. In the corner you have the button Amplify, which you can also switch to Minify. And when that is turned on, after clicking on red, you make him either bigger or smaller. And that's basically the gameplay mechanic. There's also the fact that both red and the pig can have their size altered, as well as they can appear in two different shapes. Sometimes they can also have limitations on how small or big they can become. In some levels you get Bomb, who disappears after clicking. Each level also has a star to get, and getting them all unlocks bonus levels from what I understand. There was 1 or 2 levels, maybe, where I had to actually think about how to beat the level though. Overall, I'd say it's pretty fun, though it is short, only containing 20 levels, and it doesn't introduce too many mechanics along the way. I'd say it's pretty alright. I'd give it a nice 6.5. Hey, you know what they say, can't be a Flash Games video without a recreation of an already existing game. Alright, nobody says that, but welcome to Flashbad Piggies 2.0. For what it is, a pretty good remake of the original game on the Flash engine. And while this game only has 3 episodes from the original Bad Piggies, and each episode is cut short into only like 15 levels, even though this little page switch arrow is implemented, showing that maybe there were plans to add the rest of the episodes, but the button just does not work. It's alright for what it is, janky as hell and has a bunch of bugs, for example the fact that you can spam the abilities into oblivion, or that the TNT isn't balanced when it comes to its strength. It's also worth mentioning that this game is loud as hell. If you wanna try it out, lower your volume. There is one, and I mean one thing that really pissed me off though, and that is the option to retry the level. Normally in Bad Piggies you go back straight to the building section with the thing you made last time. Here it resets the whole level, so you get to watch this over and over and over and over again. And then to build your vehicle again and again and again. It's just unnecessary. As I already said, the physics are funky, matter of fact, here's a few examples. Overall, it's not bad, it's alright. The problem is just that it's buggy a lot and loud. But I respect this game. You know, it's a good remake, nothing more to say. I'd give this one a nice 7 out of 10. Bad Piggies Stop 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 is likely the worst one I have played so far. The point is to build a place in water for Ross to land his vehicle. But the physics here are just so ass! I only got to like level 4 before rage quitting. Side note, I just wanna point out how funny some of these games look on Flashpoint, since they were made mostly for 3x4 and my monitor is 16:9. Some parts that were hidden are visible. Just thought I mentioned that, it's pretty funny. But yeah, overall I did not enjoy this game at all. Though the idea was not bad, I guess I can give this game a solid 2, and that's for the idea. And on a similar level of quality, we have Bad Piggies Car Racing, where I'm not sure what's the goal of the game. Try driving as long as I can and game over, score 0. Then I realize I can pick up the eggs, same thing. The gameplay loop is just boring as hell. By the way, who is this? Like, genuinely, who is this? I do not know what that is. Or who that is. I think this game wants to be seasonal, but is unsure what holiday it is. Pig is Easter, map is winter, probably Christmas? I don't know, it's bad, I do not like it. 2 out of 10. Next! Now this one is real short. This is Angry Birds Drag, a racing game where you pick one of the 2 cars and have to race the other. The way to win is to shift gear when this starts to glow red. The game can look real buggy, and after every race this pop-up kind of blocks the screen. I beat the whole game in like 4 minutes, which really should tell you something about it. Overall it's not the worst, but it's not, just not good. 3 out of 10 from me. Next up, we have Angry Birds Arms Birds, a contender for the best one we will look at today. First off, you're greeted by a nicely done menu screen with many animated pieces. Then, you're taken to this cutscene. The plot is your typical Angry Birds story. The pigs stole the birds' eggs, and it is our job to get them back. But this time, the birds decided to get armor and weapons? And before we go further, who is this? Like, genuinely, who is this guy? Is this some OC? Is he from some popular video? I don't know. After that, you're taken to the world map, where you have to clear all these levels. It is done in the Super Mario Bros. 3 style. There's 5 egg levels where you rescue the egg... Wait, no. Apparently you rescue a princess. Alright then. And in each level there's a key that you need to get in order to progress. Alright, now let's talk about the gameplay. The whole gameplay bases off a few things. First, the objective and map. Each level is a tall ass tower looking thing that you need to get to the bottom of to get the key and continue your journey. Of course, it is not that simple. The level is filled with different power-ups, or if you made different characters, golden eggs to get, the white boxes from Bad Piggies, which after breaking give you a few golden eggs, and enemies, which also vary. You have both melee and range pigs, which is a nice bit of diversity. Now let's talk about the classes, characters, power-ups, whatever you wanna call it. Oh wait, no, there's a name. Heroes. Yeah, heroes. Anyway, basically, there's a couple different birds you can turn into during the level that have different powers. You can get them by breaking these cages with them inside. There's Thief, who can teleport when pressing space. Also, if you open a cage with a hero you already have, you get the same one, but you gain a... I don't know. The game tries to explain it, but it's coded so well that it doesn't show the whole text. However, from experience I can tell that it gives you a secondary jump ability, which is pretty cool. There's also Barbarian, who under space becomes immune for a few seconds, Paladin, who's a tank, good in combat but slow, and he also can break blocks under him when pressing space, Ranger, who is agile and has a bow that shoots under space, and Mage, who under space shoots fireballs that pierce through enemies and blocks. Each use of a power uses some mana, which generates passively. It is also worth to mention that you get 5 health points per level, which you can restore by grabbing mushrooms, which drop from the before mentioned white crates. There's a few types of levels by design and level type. There are levels based on Bad Piggies, Trick or Treats, Mooncake Festival, and whatever wintry level this is. As to level types, there's regular levels, egg levels, and boss levels. Regular levels are, well, regular, you pass through, grab a key and leave. The egg levels are a bit more difficult, but are practically very similar, except for the goal, which is to rescue the princess. And there are the boss levels, which are harder and have a boss at the end, as the name may suggest. It's just a large pig that you have to jump onto a few times while he attacks you. And the last thing worth mentioning are the masks and artifacts. Masks are cosmetics for rare that you can equip. You get them from what basically are achievements. For example, complete a level after opening 25 chests, and so on. Artifacts you get from some levels, they give you abilities which you can equip on some heroes. But overall, I think this is pretty good. Actually enjoyable. Sure, it's nothing breathtaking, but for an Angry Birds bootleg Flash game, it's pretty nice. And so far, has the longest playtime of around 20 to 30 minutes. I like this one a lot, and I'd give it a nice 8 out of 10. Angry Birds Piggies Escape is a short and sweet game about Ross wanting to go to Mars. And as always, it is your job to help him. The gameplay is pretty simple. Ross has this string which he uses to attach himself to some points. You have to flank him across those to get to Mars. The game is pretty short, as it is like 15 levels and took me around 5 minutes to beat. Would be less if I didn't get skill issue or game issue. As at some point the game introduces the mechanic of Redbird, who flies forward and back. If he hits you, it knocks Ross and he begins to fall. Or at least that's what's supposed to happen. Because when Ross bounces around too much when attached to something and Red hits him, which causes him to fall and respawn back at the point just to get hit again. Which gets Ross stuck in an endless limbo of falling. Until he runs out of the 5 lives he has for each level. The game also introduces disappearing rocks. Oh yeah, rocks. They are these little points on a map that you attach Ross to cross the level. And yeah, later on they introduce a variant that evaporates for a bit. Oh yeah, and you go down instead of up for like 1 level. Overall the game is nice, but I have one major issue, that being the lag. I played this one as a kid and I do not remember it being this laggy. It causes a lot of gameplay problems, like catching Ross after shooting him so that he doesn't hit Red. But because of the lag, 90% of the time you will fail. To me, this game seems like a nice 6 out of 10. One last honorable mention I wanna give is to Magic Mirror. It's not really a game, but a nice fun fact more so. It uses your webcam to put a random Angry Bird character over your face. It's nice, but nothing special, and it doesn't count as a game, so I won't rate it. Moving on. And well, that's all for today. Wow, this video was long overdue. Won't you agree? I have been postponing this one for the entirety of July, but I finally got myself to make it, and I think it came out pretty alright. It sure was fun to revisit the wonders of Angry Birds games on Flash again, and it was a bit of a nostalgia trip for me personally. Also, please let me know in the comments if you would want a part 3 to this now becoming series, as there is still many more games I could cover. I could have covered them in this video, but I thought that this video was already long enough. And maybe there are some games that you played as a kid and would like to see me cover in the next video. So please let me know in the comments. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I will try to get the next video out in a week or two. And now, I can only say, bye!